Good afternoon from New York City. It's I don't have a watch, but here on my computer it says it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's 1400 hours. And I'm in New York City in the real world, and I'm in New York City in the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, otherwise known as Microcomputer Software Flight Simulator 2020. I am flying, approaching here, about to fly over the West Village here, or near the West Village, coming from the Hudson River, heading from west to east. The Empire State Building is right in front of me. And today, I just decided to try to make some more daredevil maneuvers and exciting flights and see how the city is looking like from the sky at this moment. I'm using live weather, so the weather looking outside my window here, yeah, it's kind of similar. I mean, not exactly the same, but pretty similar. The scattered clouds, part of New York here, Midtown is in shadow. I'm flying my Lovely Bird, call sign Lovely Bird 00-001, a Savage Cub that I've put a couple of hearts on the top because we need to spread more love around the world. Oppa! Hey Vicious, how you doing, man? Nice to see you, thanks for dropping by. I have to come and see one of your streams too, but I think you're away now, right? So, but I will come and see one of them sometime. Yeah, it's a very beautiful day in New York City, both in the real world and this digital rendition of it in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Looking to my starboard side here to the right, that's the United Nations HQ building. That's the Secretariat building where all the hardworking people who actually do all the work instead of the leaders. They work on that big building. The leaders usually meet down there. That's the Assembly building. Oscar Niemeyer, this Brazilian architect, together with this other French architect, based on his name, I think he was French, Le Corbusier, built that building together with a bunch of other people. And it was one of the first buildings with a curtain wall style building. Doing well, I'm back home now. I streamed this weekend with Bob if he's interested. This game is beautiful. Yeah, it is beautiful. You know, I wish there were machine guns and bombs sometimes, but I play IL-2 Sturmovik for that. There's no damage modeling in this, but there is the entire Earth. You can just fly around anywhere you want in the world, and the game takes satellite imagery from the real world. So it looks better. The higher up you are, the better it looks. When you get closer down, you see this sort of floating buses on a ghost bridge with a mysterious orb type monolith under it. So it's not perfect, but you can fly anywhere in the world, and that is amazing. That is basically Microsoft one-upped Google on this. Google has Google Earth. They should have built a flight simulator into it, but Microsoft Flight Simulator has been around since 1982, I believe this game has been around. This is the latest version, came out a couple of weeks ago, and I'm having a lot of fun. Yeah, it would be nice to drop some bombs. Yeah, that's pretty weird, but yeah, we have plenty of other games to do that, so it's alright that you can't do that here, but I do wish they had damage modeling, so like I could lose a wheel or something, because that's what I'm going to attempt today. My landing, I mean, I'm going to attempt a few different things, but my landing is going to be on the UN Secretariat building. I'm not going to land and stop because I really, there's probably enough space barely on that top little thing there. I'm going to do a close pass and we'll see, or maybe I'll just go in for the landing, screw it, but I'm going to do a touch and go. I don't think I'll be able to stop in that building without getting the Microsoft Flight Simulator screen of death, because instead of like blowing up or losing pieces, you just it just like says you overstress the airframe or something and it stops. So let's see what happens. But yeah, that's my landing spot right there. I'm going to look down here. I'm going to press F8 to pull up my flaps. I'm going to look back here to make sure they're down. There they are, they're down, so that'll give me more lift over those wings. And I have to make sure that my airspeed is as low as possible over here. Definitely lower than that red so that my plane doesn't fall to pieces. And let's see how it goes. Okay, I'm going to, I think I'm going to do another turn to the right here. There's a beautiful Empire State Building. If I'm successful in this little touch and go on the UN Secretariat building, I'm going to keep going and do a little tour of New York, some sites, some landmarks, maybe say hi to some friends of mine that live here. Maybe they look out the window, they'll wave and I'll see them. Maybe in the future they will implement VR and avatar, so you can have your little avatar in your house and you can actually like walk out the window with some sort of VR headset and wave, and you appear in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2030 or something, and you'll be able to see. That's coming probably in the future if we don't blow ourselves up. Some ugly black building here, a black onyx tower building. Not sure what that is, but here we go. We're coming in for this touch and go on the UN Secretariat building. I should probably stop talking so much because I'm probably whoa, yeah, okay, here we go. I could give you an outside view, but I'm gonna stick in the inside view in the first one. Maybe I'll do 2 touch and goes, one from the outside, one from the inside. Okay, there's goes one. Okay, that's not so good. I'm gonna keep going. That almost crashed. That wasn't so good. So with airplanes, if it's not looking good, you know, don't die. Just put full throttle. Here's my throttle. It's very light. It's a thrust matter THX Hotus or something. I never remember the name of these things. What do these marketers think when they name these things? Do they want you to remember the product names, or do they want you to think it's like every other flight stick? I usually have to like take this and look underneath it. It's a Thrustmaster T-Flight Hotus X V2, and it's a $45 stick. I had better sticks, but they're back in Rome. Yeah, that was close. You couldn't really see from inside the airplane, but I felt like it was close, and I didn't want to just get the screen of death there, so I just decided to go around. And that's fine. It's in the real world and in simulators, it's fine for you to go around. I'm going to use my mouse here. I don't have a track IR to give you a zoom of our designated landing point here. I sent this to some friends of mine who work in the UN. Maybe one of them is watching now and like thinking, oh, this is going to be some sort of international incident. Maybe Simon's gone nuts and got a real airplane is going to come down here. But don't worry, this is not real. This is a flight simulator. I'm not flying a real plane here. Everything is fine. I'm not going to crash into any buildings and blow up and kill any or hurt anybody. I'm just going to try to do this little touch and go on this building because it's a pretty building. It's a little brutalist, but it does have that curtain wall style. It's like some concrete slabs and like this wall of glass, and this was like the first building I think that was built in this way. So let's try one more time, and I'm going to try to focus here. Here we go. It's going to be right on the stall horn. More power to increase the energy. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Hey, and there's a touch and go, and let's go and let's go down. Woo! Okay, we got it. So that was a touch and go on the UN headquarters secretariat building. And now, thanks, woohoo! Woo! And now I should probably make too much noise because my partner, she's teaching a class or in some sort of training in the other room. We live in a small New York City apartment, so there's not a lot of space to go too nuts here. But okay. Second thing I'm gonna do, since that was successful, and I'm going to look over to the west here, and you see the Empire State Building over there. Okay, so the Empire State Building, New York City is building this grid line, it's streets it starts, you know, down by Wall Street, down by Battery Park, and it goes up, and the numbers get progressively higher. So it's pretty easy to find out where you are. I used to work not too far from the Empire State Building, in this graphic designer's office. He's called Milton Glaser. He passed away some months ago, unfortunately. These little hearts on the top of the plane are based on his design of the I Love New York logo that I managed to put on my little lovely bird here. Let me put some flaps up so I I can get a little more airspeed. I have to trim the airplane, okay? And so I was very lucky to work there for a few months, and now we're gonna go and say hi. And the way I'm gonna find his office is like this. So I know that the Empire State Building is on 34th Street, okay? Because New York has street numbers, like the streets that go perpendicular to Broadway. They're the numbers, and then you have Broadway down the middle, and you have first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8th Avenue, all the way up to I think like 11th or 12th, I forget. So the Empire State Building is on 34th Street. So I know that that's 34th Street right there. So that one there is going to be 33rd. So that one here is going to be 32nd, and that's where his office was. So let's go take a look. Oh, and I think I see it. I think that's it right there. I think the Milton Glaser's studio was, let's get a nice outside view, was right there. That little building right there. I think that's 32nd Street. And let's take a look around. Maybe you'll see some red on the side because he designed something. Let me see what I'm going so I don't crash into any buildings. Yep, that's the studio right there. That's what I worked as. Oh, there's a little red there. Yeah, he designed. He designed this nice little design of some flying little berries and leaves that's on a playground fence there. You can still see there if you go visit. And hey, Mazu 1984. Buonasera, ragazzo. I know you're in Rome. Thanks for joining in this little flight around New York. I just did a touch and go on the UN Secretariat building. Maybe we'll do another one before the end of the stream with an outside view instead of an internal view. Here's the Empire State to our starboard. Midtown down there. You got Bryant Park down there. You got the MetLife building, which I think is a Salesforce building. I don't know. They keep changing that buying and selling things. Let's change the names. Here's Madison Square Garden. I support Doc Rivers' emotional speech the other day. And the NBA strike because of the violence against the people whose skin color is dark. And here we have where is it? Penn Station, a great tragedy of New York City. I'm overflying Penn Station right now. The great tragedy of New York City is that architectural tragedy, at least, is that they destroyed this beautiful building. And if you look up Penn Station original on Google or something, you'll see how beautiful it looked. And they destroyed it and built this horrible, like mostly underground labyrinth that looks like a prison. And that's really a tragedy of the city architecturally. But there's not just tragedy here. There's many beautiful things. Let's go fly over Washington Square Park. That's part of the city that is actually a success. It was saved by Jane Jacobs, a campaign of this writer who wrote this book called Death and Life of Great American Cities. And they wanted to build a highway there. I think it was LaGuardia. I don't know who it was. Some greedy mayor wanted to build a highway over this beautiful park, and it was saved. That's coming up. I'll show it to you when you fly over. Madison Square Garden, New York Knicks play there. There's concerts, all this stuff. And we're going to keep flying down. A friend of mine used to live down here. Now I think he moved to Brooklyn. Hello, Gino, if you're looking at the stream at some point. Google New York City headquarters is down here somewhere on 8th Avenue. Let's try to get an outside view to give you a better look of all this stuff. I think that right there is the Google. Is that it? No, it's further down. I'm not sure actually. And I think that there is Washington Square Park. Yep, I think that's Washington Square Park there. There should be, see that art, that big weird block there, that's this arch. Forget the name of it. There's fountains, there's people probably right now over there, this nice weather we're having today, dancing and playing music, throwing frisbee. Very nice little ice cream place there. Also the founding of the, I'm getting a little bit of a blank here, but this famous bar where the gay rights struggle began, because after police went and was really rough in the 70s, they stood up for themselves. I'm really getting a blank here, I'm sorry, but that's a really nice place to visit as well. Always fun to hang out if your friends are gay. They have a good time. They know how to have fun and show you the best place in the city. There's the Freedom Tower, One World Trade Center, area of another great tragedy in New York, where those crazy psychopaths flew the airplanes into the buildings. There used to be two beautiful towers there, but now it's just one. Hopefully, keeps getting better and not worse. Right down there, I think that's the Brooklyn Bridge. I have a friend of mine, Marcos, he lives across the bridge and a bit further up to the right in Atlantic Avenue. Hello, Marcos. Hello, Kaka. Hello, Tobias. Maybe I'll do a little flyby over your place. And yeah, well, I lived here for a while, so I lived here 5 years, so I've spent a lot of time walking these streets. And yeah, anybody who wants to come visit, I'll be very happy to give you a little tour, tell you where to go, depending on what you like. I can give you a tour. Yeah, this is downtown here. KNN, we're probably not too far from Bleecker Street where we're flying. Actually, that was a bit further up. Great photographer by the name of Robert Frank, who also passed away some years ago, who made this fantastic book called The Americans. Actually, probably back here Here, The Americans by Robert Frank, great photo book. He used to live there. I actually met him on the street just a few years ago, and he lived there. So there's all these. Just walking around the streets of New York, you can meet so many random people who may be famous or maybe artists or maybe you know, crazy Wall Street people and all of that. But here's the one. World Trade Center, Freedom Tower, and let's keep going to what I feel is the most cool. Yeah, I don't know when Scorb's wedding is, but I think he had to change, right, because of the whole mess, the COVID thing. So yeah, maybe I know we'll all meet up. I've met Chris. I've met well, Justin, obviously, because I went to school with him when I was a kid. So yeah, we should all meet up sometime. Yeah, so right here, Ellis Island. Is that Ellis Island, or this is Ellis Island right here, I think? No, that's Ellis Island. Where all the immigrants arrived in New York City. Right now, unfortunately, not many people coming in or out, not just here but around the world. And they're the Statue of Liberty, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful monuments in the world, and definitely one of my very favorite monuments here in the city. I've never been right under the base of it, but I've passed right by when I went to Ellis Island with on a ferry, on a boat, and I've been by it in Division 2 in the New York expansion. I completed that, and one of the final missions, if not the final mission, maybe it's right by the Statue of Liberty. And that's a fun game. It's a little bit different than Arma and then Ghost Recon and all that stuff, but it's a fun game in its own right. I think that's Governor's Island. Ellis Island right there. Very encourage you to visit. It's a wonderful museum about all the immigrants, all the people that have come to this country, which is sort of known as to be a refuge for immigrants, and I hope it continues being like that. And here, let's do a close flyby of the beautiful Statue of Liberty. Coming up on it, there it is. There's some sort of boat with trees behind it. That's kind of weird. Maybe someone's trying to steal some trees. Hope not. But here we are, Statue of Liberty. Hopefully I don't lose my right wing right on it because I'm looking from the outside view. Very beautiful view here. Very beautiful day in New York City, both in reality and here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's hope that next year by that time everything will be fine and we'll all meet up. And we should play together sometime and see how things turn out. That we have New Jersey here on the live, Jersey City. I have a friend who lives not far from there. Hello, Bianca. How are you doing? She usually works at an advertising agency here in the city. Right now, I don't know if they're probably working remote, but I don't know. I've gone down to the city, and I see some masked executives running around, together with pocket executives that I told, like these really young kids wearing like a full-on suit, you know. And that's what I used to wear when I had to wear a suit when I was like in this really strict British school when I was a kid. You know, I had to deal with bullies, I had to fight for myself. But I wouldn't want to wear a suit and tie walking in the street. I wear it for special occasions like this stream for you all, but I don't want to wear that every day going to an office. That would like make me, have heat stroke or something, especially in the summer. But yeah, so tip, okay? All the way out there, you see that sort of, that sandbank all the way out there? That's the Rockaway. That's a beautiful Atlantic Ocean beach. If you want to go there, you can take the A and spend like an hour or 2 hours on the underground not seeing anything, or you can come right here to this pier here. I forget the name, but that's Wall Street right there. It's the end of Wall Street. You can get on this pier, you can get a ferry. It costs the same amount of money as taking the metro, about $2.75, and you can take a beautiful 1 hour ferry ride all the way to the Rockaways, and you can go to the beach, have a great day at the beach. Last ferry back is like I think 9 p.m. You can take a ferry back around 8 p.m. to see the sunset by the Statue of Liberty. That's one of my favorite things to do in New York in the summer. Have an arepa by the beach there, throw some frisbee, swim in the sea, and enjoy yourself. Right here we're flying over, we're gonna get close to Broadway here. My friend Marcus used to live in this part of town, but now he was moved to Brooklyn. A lot of people have been escaping the city the last few years, not just before COVID. I don't know. That's happening with my friends. But Broadway, right down here, this is. If you like photography, you want to buy a camera, you should go to the shop called K&M Camera. It's a very old shop. The owner was a friend of Robert Frank when Robert Frank was alive. It's a bit of a photographer mecca. If you go there, you will run into some famous photographers. I almost guarantee. Yeah, that's the Brooklyn Bridge there. I've tried to fly under it once, but you see that sort of mysterious, like almost like invisible monolith thing there. It looks like a shadow, but there's a barrier under bridges, I think, in Microcomputer Software Flight Simulator 2020, and you can't seem to fly under them. Hopefully they fix it in the future, because I like to do these daredevil maneuvers. But for now, you seem to either your prop stops or your plane breaks, or you just disappear and crash, and it says you crashed. So let's do another touch and go on the UN building there, and let's then head uptown. We're downtown now here. We're approaching Midtown. It's a nice part of town. East Village. If you want to party in New York City, you go to the East Village and the West Village. A lot of young people, a lot of speakeasy bars, a lot of good places to eat. There's this Empire Chinese restaurant. I think it's called Empire something, that had one of the best rices and melanzane eggplants I've ever had. All sorts of stuff. Also pork. If you want to eat meat, and lots of good stuff. There's Washington Square Park again, I believe. Oh no, that's Union Square actually. Never mind, that's Union Square. Okay, by Union Square, not that street there, but that one right over there. If you move down about a block or two, there's Strand Books. It's a 3 or 4 story bookstore, independent bookstore that's wonderful. I like to spend time there. Good place to, if you're single and you want to meet like a partner or something, I suggest you meet someone who reads books. So that could be a good place for you to meet someone, and doesn't just watch TV, especially like Fox News or something. Or you can try to help them, date them and get them to read books instead of just watching TV. But here we go. Yeah, there's an aircraft carrier here. I think that's it. No, a bit further up. And that's a museum. There's a Concorde there. There's SR-71, the fastest plane ever made. There's an F-16, an F-14 that Tom Cruise flew in Top Gun. That's around here somewhere. I think it's that thing there. Yeah, I think that, in the flight simulator, unless I get close to it, and even if I do get close to it, it's probably going to look a bit weird. That's a nice museum. They show free movies in the summer. I watched the Back to the Future on a flight deck of this aircraft carrier. It's pretty crazy. Is it worth it to get the deluxe version of this game? I don't know, because I did not. I got the regular version, which was $60. That's already pretty expensive for me. The deluxe is $120, and it adds a few airports and a few more planes. Some nice ones like 787 Dreamliner, but it wasn't worth 100, like double the price for me. So unless you're really into one of the planes, I say, or one of the extra airports that they include in the deluxe, I don't think it's worth it. I think it's, it's up to you. But for me, this one is fine. And they're going to be adding so much stuff to this game in the future, Vicious, that I'm just excited for some of the planes that are coming that I'll have to buy individually anyway. Like I want to buy an Islander. I want to buy like a BN2 Islander. That's one of my favorite planes that I flew in when I was a kid, actually. And I'm sure there's so many airplanes, including combat airplanes. Maybe they will make a combat Microsoft Flight Simulator like they did at one point. But for now, yeah, I think that you're good with just the regular one. You're fine. All right, try to talk a little less here. We're gonna heading up. Where is this? This is here. Let me try to slew this view here. Central Park, that's 59th Street, there, Columbus Circle. All the wealthy people in the world, or only a few criminals among them, live in these big high-rise buildings here. They're very expensive. I think it's like $40 million for an apartment in some of these buildings. Just ridiculous. That's South Central Park. Let's see. I'm better looking at it. Okay, down here, this is the Metropolitan Museum. It's probably my favorite museum in New York City. wonderful artwork from all eras, of all types, from everywhere in the world. It's huge, sprawling complex. Yeah, the founders, is too bad that they also made that oxic content thing that got a lot of people addicted to painkillers and killed a lot of people too. There's some of the donors that gave money for this, maybe to make themselves feel better. But you know, I always have to criticize something, right? I'm such a wet towel, but hey, gotta say, you know. But it's a wonderful place to visit, to spend. You're not going to see anything in a day, no way. I like to go see a little bit. There's a bar on the top you can go and later in the day and sit outside, see the view of Central Park, and have a cocktail. That's nice. I mean, it's a little expensive. You can just have one and have to go away. That here is one of my other favorite museums. It's the Museum of Natural History. The successor to Carl Sagan has made a new Cosmos series. Neil deGrasse Tyson works there. He's, I think, the president of the astronomical part of it. There's exhibits about astronomy, about natural history, geology, all sorts of stuff. It's a really also a beautiful place to visit. I had a friend who worked in the New York Historical Society. I think it was, or New York Museum. I forget which one it was, but it's right next to it. Hello, Alex. Hello, Alexander. He used to work there, but now he works at the UN, I think. So that's why I did a little touch and go to you know, make his roof of his office shake, though he doesn't actually work in the secretariat, but that's what I like to think. And yeah, what time is it? 26 minutes? Wow, it's been only... Cool. Yeah, grab the standard one and let's fly together sometime. Mojo has it. I think some other people got it too, right? So yeah, I live all the way up there in Inwood, but I'm gonna stick around this part of town right now. And that's the George Washington Bridge. It doesn't look great from this distance. Let's see, what else can I talk a little bit about here. I'm gonna reduce power. Oh, let's cross over to Long Island City. Let's do another little bump in the UN. See if I don't crash. I'm gonna put the flaps down already, so I don't forget later. Look back, flaps are down. Yeah, you can hover on stuff too, like flaps are on landing. And make sure my airspeed doesn't get to the red there, so the plane doesn't break up. Tachometer, you can see that the engine is pretty much zero. There's no power. I mean, it's spinning because there's air still coming into it, you know. So, but I think that, I don't know, if I move it up, does it feather the propeller? I don't even know. I'm a total amateur with these airplanes. I'm used to flying, you know, P-51s, P-38s, that sort of stuff, the World War II warbirds. I'm going to be streaming IDA to Strumavik, which is my favorite flight simulator, soon, probably early next week. So I'm not used to these planes, but I'm slowly getting used to it. I was flying the Cessna 152. They did a tutorial, most of it the other day. I'm missing one bit of it, the navigation thing that I was getting confused by. But there's a lot of planes in the regular edition, the standard edition. There's loads of planes. I haven't even flown a jet yet. I haven't flown any of the turboprops. I've only spent time in this little Cub. Okay, let's bank. I've only spent time in this little Savage Cub, and on the X Cub, the more modern version of the Savage Cub. And on the oh, okay, go. Okay, I'm gonna shut up because I'm gonna try to focus here. Okay, more power because I'm gonna try to give you an outside view. Okay, no, that's not gonna work. Let's go around. It's close. Let's do one more time. Let's come in from the other side. I don't know what direction the wind is. I wish there was a little airfield of a windsock right here, but I could probably figure it out by watching my airspeed carefully and timing, using a clock to see how, like for example, one way to figure out your airspeed when you're flying is you get like a landmark, like that thing there, for example. Then you say, okay, timer on the clock, like start the clock. Then you leave your throttle, your tachometer at a certain position, and you see how far you get and how long it takes you to get there. And then you do the same thing the opposite way. And if in one way you got there faster, it means that the wind is coming from behind you that way. That's one way to figure out airspeed without having a windsock around you. I mean, you need something, you need like a ground reference, so that sort of thing. But there are, or I could call probably air traffic control and ask them, but they probably, yeah, actually they probably would be able to give me a thing over the city, maybe not in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but in real life they'd probably be able to give me a wind reading, approximate wind reading, of course, because weather is all approximate. Am I talking way too much? All right, let's see, let's try again. Here we go. Touch and go landing on UN Secretariat building from outside view. Oh, I just missed it. Okay. Sorry about that. Just missed it. I think the wind is coming from the direction I'm flying at now. But I'm a daredevil. I'm trying to do this crazy thing, so I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna do one more touch and go from an outside view, and then we're gonna head to Queens, to Long Island City, to see where I wish to work in this UN warehouse over there. Warehouse where they keep a bunch of documents about the UN, the history of the United Nations. Careful not to crash in this huge, weird black onyx monolith here. Okay, flaps down again. I'm gonna approach in the first person. Probably a little too fast. I think it's way too fast, actually. Oh, to hell with it. Let's try it anyway. Here we go. Oh, got it! And go! Go! Power! Yeah! You got it. Alright. Flaps up. Here we go. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm an amateur at this, so I don't know if it annoys people if I'm talking way too much. I mean, there's some games that, if it's more like a tactical game, that's a little more tense, then you have to be quiet, you have to sneak around. Then often, and especially if I have other people playing with me, like last night or some of my friends, then I don't have to be talking all the time because they're talking too. There's more back and forth, so I find it more pleasurable actually to stream that way. But yeah, I'm learning. This is totally new for me. Let's do a flight down Broadway. Let's go low now and see if the wingspan of this airplane will fit down Broadway. Alright. Really beautiful Art Deco buildings here. So the older ones, not these weird. I really don't like this building here. This really, like, it's just like a stick that gets so high. I feel like it's a bunch of rich people trying to see, whose penis is bigger. So they're like, I want my building to be taller than yours, and they build this ugly building that's tall and takes away from the skyline of the city. I think these buildings on 59th Street. Not a fan. Okay, let's turn around. Columbus Circle down here. I think they should rename that to One Circle. There'll be a better name for this place, but it's called Columbus Circle right now. And is this? Wait. No. Now I'm confused to which one is Broadway. Is that Broadway? Yeah, that is Broadway. That is Broadway. Okay, very close here to the building, so I'm gonna have to. If I crash, please don't get upset. I'll just restart. But I think this is 6th Avenue, 8th Avenue maybe. Broadway is 7th. All right. More power. Yeah, this is Broadway here. Oh, just gonna miss that. Okay. It's Times Square. I'm gonna fly right over Times Square here. I have to make sure I don't crash into a building. Here's Times Square. We're flying over it. H&M has a big logo up here. Is that a big heart down there? Looks like a big heart. Let's go back. Let's go back around and see. More people definitely have the issue of not talking enough, so talking a lot is a good thing. Cool, man. Yeah, that's what I heard. Like all these streamers say. They're like, keep doing it. One, stick to it, and two, talk. Because if someone shows up and you're just staring at the screen, they don't want to hang out. But I don't know. Yeah, it's not easy. I find that. Okay, this is 5th Avenue here. I'm over 5th Avenue right here. It takes some practice for sure to be able to, you can run out of things to say too. And that's why I call this stream, really, one of the reasons I call this journeys between realities in art and play or something like that. I forget. Times Square in the bottom here, ladies and gentlemen, is that, right below, is that I want to speak about other things than just video games, although for me video games are an art form. What is that? It's like a glass of wine. It's not a, or no, it's not a heart. It's funny. I don't know, whoever's advertising is that they got some free advertising, but I don't know if it says to me. So yeah, I like to talk about other things. I want to be talking about photography, art, drawing, music, all sorts of stuff. You know, obviously in the setting of a video game, but then it gives you more things to talk about than just what's happening on the screen. Although of course that is a focus, especially when you're doing a bit of daredevil flying here. One of the funnest things for me to do in these video games. Do things that you wouldn't be able to do in real life without either killing yourself or someone or getting into a lot of trouble with authorities. So Empire State. I've never actually been up the Empire State. I have to go up the Empire State Building. I talk about all this stuff in New York City and I've never been up the Empire State Building. You know, like when you live somewhere, here, let's go by the Chrysler Building. When you live somewhere, like, oh, I'll go there sometime, you know, and then you end up not going. I love these copper building. Oh, little frog freeze there, almost made it crash. Grand Central, gorgeous. That's another one of my favorite New York places. Down here, Grand Central, beautiful train station. And another one of my favorites is the Chrysler Building that we're flying around right now. Probably the most beautiful, even most beautiful, the Empire State. The top of it, it's like this Art Deco, crazy like metal, almost like aluminum-looking beats that they. Like really detailed, beautiful metal top to it. Okay, let's cross the river. Here's the UN Secretariat where I've done 2 touch and goes without crashing so far. One from external view and one from the internal view. In the internal view, you can hear it goes clunk. I love, one of my favorite sounds in this game or any video game is the sound of wheels touching the ground when you land. Cool, dude. Yeah, let's do some flying sometime. Have a good stream, and let's do some flying together. We can organize it next week or something if you want. Just let me know how it goes. If you need any tips, feel free to reach out. And thanks so much for dropping by. I'm gonna drop by in yours when I can. All right. Peace, peace, peace. Okay. All right. Where am I here? I am, I think, near Long Island City, or is this the other way? Long Island City has changed a lot, even since from a few years ago. There's all these buildings that have been built up, so maybe looking a little different because of that. Maybe the game doesn't reflect all the buildings that have been built since that time. But yeah, let me turn. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the United Nations Arms building, but I think it's right down here somewhere. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I'm gonna have to ask Nesh. No, I'm not disconnecting right now. Oh yeah, let's do a pass to the Ghostbusters. I was just saying bye to Vicious. I'm gonna do at least an hour. Okay, you wanna go see the Ghostbuster building? No problem. Mazu 1984 wants to see the building where I think it was it the first Ghostbusters? Mazu, I'm not sure. That was the first one. Bill Murray, great actor. One of my favorite films, Groundhog Day, about living life a day at a time in a Zen manner and trying to learn how to be a better human being. He was in Ghostbusters, and there was a part of that film that was filmed at another one of my favorite landmark buildings in New York City, the New York Public Library. That's on 5th Avenue. I don't know if my plane's going to fit down 5th Avenue of the wingspan in this little Savage Club, but we're going to give it our best shot. So let's try it. Okay, 5th Avenue, let's see. Let's see if I can find it. A bit higher here. I know where it's pretty close to the Chrysler Building and to Grand Central. The NYPL. Yeah, if you have like one day in New York or something, a good place to go is New York Public Library. It depends on what you like, but then you have Bryant Park there, you have Grand Central, you have the Chrysler Building, you have the Empire State not so far, but you can't see a lot in one day in the city, because cities are tiring places. If you just go for one day, you're going to be, and try to see a lot of stuff, you're going to get stressed. Okay, I think I'm flying over 5th Avenue now. Are you trying to make me crash, Maz? Is that what you're trying to do? Oh dear, okay. Okay, hold up. Let's find it like this. Let's look for Bryant Park. Let's see. Okay, Chrysler's there. Okay. This is the MetLife building. This is going to be Park Avenue down here. Let's keep going left. 55. Yeah. It's on Fifth Avenue. It's very close to. It's just very built up there. Okay, there it is. There's the NYPL. That's where Ghostbusters has a scene that was right. There's the entrance. Beautiful, gorgeous building. It's a library. It's a public library. You can go work there for free. There's Bryant Park, and I guess a crazy landing challenge would be to try to land in Bryant Park. Where the heck would we approach for that? The thing is, if I land there, I don't think I can take off again, because that's, with this airplane at least, there's just not enough space. Maybe someone much better than pilot than me would be able to do it, but I don't think it's possible to take off from Bryant Park in any of the planes in at least the standard edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So that's very little space. I could try touch and go on the roof of the library. If I try that, I mean, I would have to come from maybe from that side, and then touch on the roof, and then go through that building there. That sounds nuts too. There's the shadow of the plane at the bottom. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be. I have to practice offline for that one a bit. I know. I'll tell you what. If microcomputer software, Microsoft implemented damage modeling in this game, I would be totally much more up for trying these even crazier daredevil things, because it would be funny to see what happens. You know, like a wheel stays on the roof of the building, a wing goes in another direction, and maybe you fall in a little parachute. It can make it funny too. You know, it doesn't have to be like a big explosion and fiery death, although those are fun too in video games. But if they did that, I would be much more willing to try many more of these daredevil things. Because if I do that now, and all you get is like a menu, you're dead, and then you have to wait for a loading screen for a minute or two to get back in the game. So that's really frustrating. I wish that they would change that. And I know I'm like a broken MP3 player, or a broken record, or a broken cassette player, or a broken mini disc player, or broken Spotify, depending on how old you are and what kind of device you listen to your music on. But it's my biggest criticism of this game is the lack of a damage model. That's okay. Let's look at the rock real quick. Top of the rock. I think is that it? I think that's it. This is a building that, I mean, everyone wants to go up the Empire State, and I haven't been to the Empire State, but I haven't even been to the top of the rock. But if you want a really great view of New York City, instead of going to the Empire State, I would, for photographs especially, instead of going to the Empire State Building, I would go to the top of the rock, because then you can see the Empire State Building. If you're on the entire Empire State Building, you can't see it, and the Empire State Building is, you know, one of the iconic images of New York City. So, to make an iconic skyline image in New York City, you need the Empire State Building, and if you're on it, you can't take it. So unless you have like some crazy long selfie stick with like a 0.2 millimeter lens or something, but shit, maybe I'll try to invent that, and then I can sell it in Rome, on the streets in any big city. But yeah, top of the rock. Where the heck was it? I was talking so much and laughing here to myself that I don't know where it is anymore. And it's funny to see these buildings from this height. It changes how they look, because I don't usually see these buildings from this perspective, you know. So is it this one here? I'm totally lost. I think my friend of mine lived not lived there. I hope he didn't live there, but worked there for a while. Here, I think this is it. Is this it? Is it the top of the rock? I'm not sure, but I think this is it right here. Doesn't look like I can. I could try to bump that little radar dish, whatever the hell that thing is, with my wheels. But I think that'll make me crash. I'm not sure. Let's go for a little flight to up north a bit to Columbia University, where I used to work. And before of this pandemic that paused everything. And let's say hello to Baron and to Allison and Rick and some of my coworkers, ex-coworkers that maybe they're right now. What day is today? Friday? Oh, maybe they're getting ready to, actually they're not there right now. They're home. What am I talking about? Unless they changed the whole thing about going into work, but I don't think so. So yeah, going up Upper West Side. Very storied location too. A lot of there's like the, what was it? I think back there. Maybe, yeah, that was further back there. Or maybe here, Lincoln Center, ballet, opera, cinemas. And we're over Broadway right now, flying north in Manhattan. I call it Manhattan because many people live here. In my Savage Cub, I have a couple of pilots here, probably an instructor and the pilot flying together in this little Savage Club. So far, probably my favorite airplane, although I've tried very few. I've tried this one, I tried I think the VL3, which has a great visibility, and the Cessna 172, and this sort of French plane that it almost like smells like cigarettes in it because well, I just think of cigarettes when I think of the French smoke a lot of Gauloises and stuff. So maybe there's even an ashtray model in it, I don't remember, but I feel like you can smell cigarettes in that airplane. And I managed to do a Lenny in Courchevel in the challenge, and that's the only time I download for this game is Deceptive. Yeah, it's really tricky of Microsoft to do that. It's like a 500 megabyte download, and then it's going to take you a long time because their servers suck. At least when the game came out, they did. Download a 91, I think, gigabyte download. It's really deceptive. Columbia University. There's the Rotunda. There's the Italian Academy where I used to work. Low library. Beautiful library that's trying to crash to a building here. Here's another, I think it was here that Martin Luther King gave a speech about a year before he died, before he was murdered. In the 68, was it? I don't remember now. Either this or the cathedral in Amsterdam. But these couple of beautiful cathedrals here. Do another flight directly over Columbia. Oh, let's stay on this side. Let's go. Let's fly near the Italian Academy. Yeah, visit the Italian Academy if you can. There's when things are normal in the world, there's music events there. My friend Rick is the music director. He works in there usually when times are normal. I worked there for quite a while, a few years. And here is Amsterdam Avenue. Here is the Southern Cathedral I was telling you about. It was either in this one or the other one that Martin Luther King gave a speech. I don't remember. Great little Danish pastry shop, that's what it's called here, and it's a great place to go have a coffee and have some wonderful pastries. Independently owned pastry shop, not a chain. Here on the Upper West Side by Columbia University. Nice to, well, look at that. Instead of steps, the Microsoft Flight Simulator is showing like a building there. That's kind of, that's a bit disappointing. There should be Alma Mater statue there instead of that little condominium of apartment buildings. Hopefully someone will fix that eventually. It's early days. They did the whole world, so you have to forgive them, you know. There's the Pupin Hall. There's free astronomy lectures there. You can look in that little round thing there. It's an observatory. You can I've seen Jupiter or Saturn and all its moons through that telescope there in Pupin Hall, where you can learn physics and astronomy in Columbia. The math building right here is a modern building. I used to spend a lot of time in the library there too. And that's Avery, lots of photography books there. Philosophy Hall, where my partner Amber often works when times are normal. And Ghostbusters was also filmed here. It was also filmed in Low Library. It's Low Library. I might be misremembering right now, but there was a scene there in the stacks, wonderful stacks of Low Library. All right, and Spider-Man was filmed in a lecture. There was one of the Spider-Mans had a scene shot in a lecture hall in this building here, and you can actually go and visit it if you just tell them that you want to see where Spider-Man was shot. They'll let you in. And that's it. Cool, dude. Yeah, I hope you can take off soon. I hope you have a fast internet connection. And our poor friend Respo Justin, he like almost, I think, threw his computer out the window when he first downloaded this game. He had some issue he couldn't figure out. It took like 3 days to download the game. He's like a huge fan of these flight simulators, and it took him a long while to download it. So let's turn back to the city. I'm gonna fly low over the Hudson here, and let's maybe do a low flight, over that aircraft carrier. Let's see if we can actually recognize some of those big jets in this museum on a decommissioned aircraft carrier. There's a Concorde there. I think there's a space shuttle. Is there a space shuttle? I'm not sure about the space. There's definitely a Concorde. There's a submarine, F-16, F-14, SR-71. You can see them. You can touch them. You're basically right there, and we're gonna go fly down the Hudson, over Riverside Park, past Columbia University there. Flying low. Yeah, I haven't played DCS for a long time. I actually haven't tried DCS with this new machine that I built to stream. So I'm really excited to try it and see. The performance must be really something else. This game here is very demanding. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. But it runs pretty well for me, even in cities. Like you can see, I'm probably at I can turn on developer mode up here. If you go escape, so I'm gonna do a little interruption. I'll just quickly do it. You can go developers, developer mode, turn on, and then I apply and save and come back, and then tools, camera, options. Ooh, let's try not to crash here. Where was it? There's a place to show here you go, display frame rate, and then on the top here, yeah, I'm at 48 frames per second in a big city, all high settings, including clouds. I could get high if I reduce the volumetric clouds from high to medium. I could probably go to 60, but I really like the big clouds. And when you're not near a big city, I'm at 60 smoothly. There are hiccups because I think when you load a game or there's bugs and they're still working on. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the performance, considering that you can fly on the whole world and everything, that the graphical fidelity. My GPU is a 2070 S Super, 2070 Super. No exit def mode. Alright, let's see. I think we're coming up to this aircraft carrier here. It's not the cruise ship. I think it's just by the cruise ship, unless I'm actually flying over it and I missed it. No, it's coming up. I'm gonna go a little higher to maybe it'll be a bit better graphical. The higher you are in this game, the better things look, because it becomes more like, it looks more like the landscape. And I should check my fuel. Oh, look at that! Look at my fuel. I'm almost out of fuel. Oh dear, I'm gonna have to land in an airport to refuel if I want to continue this flight. Okay, here it is. This is the museum. I forget what it's called right now, but there you can see the SR-71 right there. F-16 next to it. There's the F-14. A bunch of other jets. An F-4. There's the Concorde right there. Concorde on this museum on an aircraft carrier in the Hudson River by New York. And you can watch movies, and there's trees on it too. You can watch movies there. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do a land. I'm very low on fuel here. I'm gonna call ATC. I'm gonna see the nearest airport list. Nearest one is LaGuardia. Let's go to LaGuardia. Tune Tower. Request full stop
Tower
landing.
Savage Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra is 7 miles west with Kilo to land. Savage Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra Tower. Request traffic runway tree 1. Altimeter 29.87 wind tree 4 at 17.
Alright. I'm gonna just go in and land on runway 31 then. I want to make a left traffic pattern, but I don't have a lot of fuel. I'm a little worried about this fuel here. That's I'm not experienced in this plane, but that's very close to nothing. So I'm just gonna go straight in, and since it's a video game, I'll get in too much trouble, and I won't be, you know, sent to like Riker's Island or something. And not Riker, not Commander Riker, but this prison island here that they should send all these criminals, the real criminals that live in the city, the people that play golf, and oh, I have to say a copy, okay. But all right, here we are. Acknowledge pattern
Make
entry.
left traffic runway tree 1 Savage X-ray Golf Sierra.
Alright, do I have to acknowledge again? Okay, I think LaGuardia is this direction here, so let's see. If you hold like this button, usually it's fire, you know, machine guns on other airplanes. This game, you look at the airport that you're aiming at, so I can just hold that. It's like all the, it used to be called padlock views in older games. Padlock your view to like a ground or an enemy, and in DCS you can, a feature I love is you can padlock it to a point on the ground, so you can probably look there and press a button and then say keep looking at that, and it would keep looking at that. I think that's present in this game, but I haven't figured out how to map it yet, because this flight stick I have, the Thrustmaster T-Flight Hotas X-Ray, it doesn't not all the key mappings work. Like I tried to put trim with a key combination and it didn't work. So I need to get a better flight stick. Although right now, because of this game, there's flight sticks it's hard to find a flight stick to buy. They cost like, the people are selling for like $300 on eBay. It's nuts. Oh yeah, dude, that's awesome though, because that's a great card too. And with the 380s coming soon, like at the end of the year, you'll be able to upgrade to a 380. And based on, I mean, I only trust these things when I see them, you know, real people, not the marketing, but real people doing the testing to see what the performance is like. But apparently it's awesome. And Mazu, who was commenting here as well before, he's building a system, and I advise him to, for right now, get, you know, the best he can and get 2070 Super, and then next year upgrade to a 380. I'll probably do the same. I wonder if it'll fit in my little, because I have a pretty small, I built this PC small on purpose. My little, yeah, I'll put a little, my PC specs are there. I built it small on purpose because I don't have a big apartment. I want it to fit on my door here. I hear that these new 3080s are bigger, so I don't know if it'll fit in this enclosure. Maybe I'll just have to modify it, cut a bit off or something. Although that'll be a pity. Maybe I'm just gonna have to get a new enclosure, but that's in the future. I'm not gonna upgrade for a long time. This is, I think it's gonna be a while before there's a game that will make me struggle with this. So I'm very happy with my little condensed Anthem laser power Frostblade Newt here. I built myself after not having built a PC for over 20 years. And okay, which one is landing 3-1? That's I think that's 1-3. 3-1's gonna be from there. Let me double check my clipboard here, my compass rose. Yeah, from the northeast, bearing 310, 030, 031. Still get confused with this stuff. This runway 4, so they don't want me to land on that. So now I'm going to go to ATC and I'm going to announce that I'm turning onto the base, turning to base leg and then final. Let's see.
LaGuardia Airport information Kilo 1800 Zulu. Wind tree 4 at 17.
To the tower. Okay. Cancel. Okay, I don't know if I have to tell them that I'm coming in. I think I can just land. But here I come. I think that's running 3-1 in LaGuardia. Yep, that's running 3-1. There's LaGuardia. I flew out of there pretty recently on a trip to Michigan. And I'm at, still have some fuel, but okay, I'm cleared for landing. That's nice. Now I'm turning on the base leg. This will turn to base leg here. I came I didn't really get into the pattern properly, but this is good enough. I'm gonna cut power. I'm gonna put the flaps down. Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna put the flaps down because it's a pretty long runway.
Savage X-ray Golf Sierra, did you copy?
Oh yeah, I copied. Let's see. Let's acknowledge landing
Clear
clearance.
to land runway tree 1 Savage X-ray Golf Sierra.
Now what I'm looking for is where's the fuel truck, because I want to refuel and take off again. Are those fuel trucks there? No, I don't think those are fuel trucks. Maybe there. All right. Well, I'm gonna try landing without the flaps just to see how that feels. But I usually always land on the flaps in this. but maybe you're supposed to. Let's do it. Let's do it properly here. Flaps down. Okay, flaps are down. This airplane landing on this will feel like I'm, you know, walking into LaGuardia, like from the sky, like just walking down because it's so slow. But always exciting to land here. I'll try to zoom out without back. I don't know if I mapped that or configured. I like this view because it gives you like it gives you more screen space and you have a better sense of speed. And one day I'm gonna have VR. Just I want to experience it. I'm not gonna stream with it because it would make it hard for me to look at change applications, look at keyboard and stuff. But here we are. Coming into LaGuardia. Maybe I'll land with this little outside view for you. Maybe not. Let's just land from the inside view. Maybe you can hear the clunk. So nice and slow. Here we go. Nice little touch. Flare a little bit. Nice little touch.
X-ray Golf Sierra, exit runway when able.
Copy that. Exit the runway. I don't think these little airplanes are usually supposed to land here. Maybe, I think they do have a light aircraft area in this. Ooh, already took off again. Jeez. This airplane is so light that you just like, you know, and I think I'm landing into the wind, so there's a strong wind coming from that direction. I'm just gonna stop here and I'm gonna turn.
Savage X-ray Golf Sierra, turn next taxiway.
Okay, here I am, turning, calm down.
Savage X-ray Golf Sierra, contact ground on 121.7.
Copy that, let's call that ground on 121.7. Knowledge ground handoff.
121.7 Savage X-ray Golf Sierra.
Okay, request taxi to parking.
Ground Savage Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, request taxi to parking.
Savage Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Echo Foxtrot.
Echo Foxtrot, okay. Seems like a more sleepy dude. I'm not sure which is taxiway Echo Foxtrot. I should probably
Taxiing to general aviation parking
look
using
at these,
taxiway Echo Foxtrot, Savage X-ray Golf Sierra.
look at these little signs here. I don't know if they will give me I just want some fuel. Oh, there's Nightbot. Nightbot's working. So this thing that's appearing on my stream, I'm learning how to do all this stuff. So I have this little moderator bot called Nightbot, and I configure it to once an hour put these links to my YouTube channel and this thing that if you get your Twitch Prime account connected with your Twitch account connected to your Amazon Prime account, you can become a subscriber of my channel for free. You have to do it every month if you want to keep the subscribing, but it's free for you if you have the Amazon Prime. And I get like a few bucks, and you can then get these bits and these I think these emotes that you can use to cheer and stuff like that. I have no idea. I have very little idea of what all that stuff is, because I'm learning all this, but I saw that I've been looking at other streamers and they do that, so I decided to try it, and I guess it works. So Nightbot would put these links once an hour. If it's annoying, I don't know about the Twitch etiquette for this, but I think once an hour seems okay to me, and it depends also how many people are chatting, so it won't just spam the chat if there's no one here. So if it's not annoying, I'm probably gonna keep that there, and I'm trying to make this work. You know, I want to get 50 followers by the end of the month if I can, but even if I don't, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm not gonna stop. I like playing video games. I'm learning to talk while doing it. And here we are, LaGuardia. I am looking for a fuel truck because I know that you can refuel if you find a fuel truck. I'm sorry, I think that's probably going to be the general aviation parking. And the reason I'm finding this is because I've been to LaGuardia in real life, and the bus that you take to get from LaGuardia to our place, it passes by the general aviation parking space. So I remember where that was. Probably not taxiing where I should be, but no, I don't think a Homeland Security is going to come and drag me to Rikers Island or anything. Alright, let's keep... You have to have affiliate, then we can subscribe. Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. I'll probably turn off this Nightbot thing then until then. But if and when it happens, I'll turn it on again. But thanks for letting me know. It's very nice of you, Vicious. I'm total amateur at this stuff, so I appreciate any and all help I can get. Is this? Is there a fuel truck here? There's a fuel truck. Okay, now, and the other day, for the first time, I realized I managed to refuel the plane on the ground when I was flying near San Francisco, southwest of San Francisco. I landed in this little airfield when my fuel was running low, and I went up to one of these little fuel trucks, and I pressed Shift F, and the little fuel truck actually drove near my plane and refueled me. So let's try to do that now. And if it does it, I'm going to break the rules, and I'm gonna take off from the taxiway instead of asking for clearance, because I don't want to bore you to death here taxiing in LaGuardia when we could be flying up the city. All right, at 1 hour 5 minutes, you can, if you want, I think you can put like exclamation mark and uptime. I think Nightbot will tell us how long the stream has been up. Yep, there you go, 1 hour 5 minutes 37 seconds. And we're going to try to refuel here at LaGuardia by this little fuel truck. What is this? This is some service. That looks like a fuel pump, so let's try that. Okay. Here, I'm gonna brake. I'm gonna park right here. Just gonna park it right here and see. Actually, let's park. Let's go to the left. Let's do it properly. Oh, there's a little vehicle coming to meet me. That's nice. I wonder if it's actually coming to meet my plane or if it's just a random vehicle. Okay, now I'm gonna go. Let's see if I can actually do it through this. Ground services. Go back to clearance. Ground services. Okay, it's not letting me do this. So I'm gonna press Shift F and see if I can get refueled. Something happened. Yeah, there you go. There's the little fuel truck. I pressed Shift F, and I had to look that up the other day. I was like, why? There was no option. Like, maybe you have to be at the right place. Maybe I had to be like parked at the right place to give me the option in the ATC menu up here. But I couldn't find it, so I looked up the key command, and it was Shift F for fuel. See, it's flammable. If I had a machine gun and I shot that, it would be boom. This would happen here. I'll show you. See if I can show you. Okay, there's the thing. We're gonna keep looking at it, and let's look at our fuel now. Look at our fuel. Oh, here you go, and here's a fuel menu just popped up. Let's put about 75. I don't want it to be too heavy because I'm not gonna be flying for hours and hours. Let's put another. Let's put like 60, about 60% on each. I put my pilot weight there, about 173 pounds, probably a little more than I weigh, or less. I don't remember. I haven't weighed myself for a long time. Okay, that's good. And you can see when you do this, I think it changes this. Let's try. Let's put it high. Does it change the in-game view or not? Let's see. I think it does, but it's hard to see in this particular airplane. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it around there. Okay, my fuel's up. I'm refueled. It doesn't actually animate the guys coming in and refueling. Maybe that's in the future. And now I wanted to show you something. Let me do this. Here's a little video of me playing a video game with a better damage modeling than Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, a video game from 1986 called Sopwith that I streamed the other day. That's a little highlight from that. So now I'm going to turn around. I'm not going to ask for clearance. I'm just going to take off from here. I'm going to put the flaps up because we don't need a lot of lift. There's plenty of space here. And here we go. Full power. We can buzz this little car here. Scare the heck out of him. There you go. There you go. Oh, all right.
Savage X-ray Golf Sierra, you were not cleared to take off.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a video game. I want to take off without clearance. Okay. There's New York City in the distance. There's LaGuardia, another little general aviation thing. See, if it was IL-2, I would want to turn around and strafe these little airplanes and can see like people running and stuff. Maybe I'm the vicious one. That's the fun thing to do with airplanes. Look from the high up. It looks really photorealistic, doesn't it? That's the fun thing to do with airplane. Here, let's fly over Rikers Island. I have something to say about this place. That's the thing to do with video games. Just do stuff you can't do in real life, you know. That's why I love video games. One of the reasons. Okay, so this here is Rikers Island. There's a big prison complex over New York. A little bit of a pause there. And I suggest, if you want to know more about what prisons are like in the United States, you should watch this documentary called The 13th. Here, maybe I can put a link on the chat. 13th. I'll put a link on the chat. All right. Give me a second. Let me put power here. Make sure. Let's trim the airplane. Make sure I'm not crashing. And here we are flying over Riker Island. And I'm gonna put this on my chat. So I encourage your friend to look at this documentary and tell you what he thinks about it, because I've never been in a prison here, but I think it's a very important thing for people to see what not the public prison systems, but the private ones, what they are like. And there's a lot of things right with this country, but there's right now especially a lot of things wrong with this country. And one of them is the private prison systems. Slavery has not ended in the United States. Slavery is alive and real, and it is happening in the prison systems, where people have to work for free. People are basically enslaved, and it's very, very sad. And this documentary will open your eyes to what's happening in a lot of places for people who have a dark skin color. So I think it's important to mention that, because Rikers Island is a huge complex. This is a big prison system here in New York, right next to LaGuardia Airport. How many millions of people fly over this all the time, you know? And I think it's important to realize what's going on under the surface in these places as well. Look at this view from the United States here. Some love, some hearts over Riker Island. I hope that things change. There's New York City. Just took off from LaGuardia without permission. It's good to do things without permission. Sometimes that's how change happens. Don't take off without permission. That's probably a bad accident in real life. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, you're fine. All right. This is Queens here. Some of the best food in New York City. People from all over the world. I have friends from Bangladesh, friends from Sri Lanka, friends from Pakistan, friends from India, friends from Brazil, friends from Portugal, friends from all over the world. There's over 200 languages spoken in New York. I'm not sure. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I just, yeah, it's, you know, it's, it actually makes me angry thinking about that. So I find a small, you know, token of things I can do is just put these little links, encourage people to look this stuff up. That's the Bronx up there in the distance. It's near where I live. I live up there in Inwood. Bronx there. It's a wonderful place to visit in the Bronx. There's botanical gardens. I haven't spent much time in the Bronx actually, but it's a really wonderful place to visit there. Let's go higher up and get a view of how it looks from higher up. This beautiful city of New York. Many problems, but ultimately really one of the most beautiful places in the world. Like in terms of just physical beauty, you know, this New York City doesn't hand a candle to Rio de Janeiro, to Rome. I'm sorry, okay? Rio de Janeiro, Rome, those are natural beauty. Those are beautiful. New York has been too built up. I mean, this used to be all natural land, you know, the last remaining areas of New York, but still there's a forest is in where I live, but too built up. But in terms of, you know, culture and art and languages and just like a lot of very talented and lovely people live here. Weather is very clear over Manhattan right now. I did do a flight, not online, but privately the other day that that it was totally foggy and you could see like shafts of light coming through the clouds. It was really beautiful. I hope to be able to do one of those flights and show it to you on stream sometime. But really clear today here. Up the Hudson there, there's Poughkeepsie, Beacon. Lots of little towns. You can take the train from either Grand Central or from Marble Hill if you happen to live right where Manhattan ends and the Bronx starts there. Very beautiful day trip or longer. Photographer, friend of mine that haven't spoken for a while and haven't seen for a while because of this COVID mess, lives up in Beacon. I helped him move from this place downtown near Canal Street on Mercer Street some years ago. We drove up New Jersey several times carrying all his books and his belongings. Up and moved to Beacon all the way up the river. I don't think you can see it from here. If you get really high, you can. The earth is curved. The higher you get, the more you see. The earth is not flat. It's curved, and you can see that in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So when you're down there, you can't see this far. When I come up here, you get up high, and the earth is curved, so you can see further. You know, and when you go down, you can see less. But if you take a big ball like this globe here, and you put a tiny little thing, and you draw a little line, or put a thing over it, you'll realize, do some experiments, you'll realize, and the person that found out the Earth was curved was someone I think in ancient Greece for the first time, in like over like 2,000 years ago. I forget his name right now. Maybe Mazu is one of my scholars here. Maybe he could help me. But the way he did it is he put a stick on the ground. He measured the length of the shadow, and then he walked many. No, that was it was someone else. Here, hold up. Galileo also had this. Here, I'm gonna look it up real quick. I remember. I'm getting a blank on his name right now, but I'll find out and I'll let you know. Earth curved experiment, Greece. Googling that and seeing what it looks like. Here it is. It's gonna be well, what the heck is the name of the guy? Name of this guy? This person. I totally forgot it right now. It's not Archimedes, but it's something like that. It's one of those Greek. Eratosthenes. There you go. I'll give you a Princeton link. I'll put it on the chat here. Eratosthenes. And you can read about his experiment there. And you can also read about his experiment in Khan Academy. We're going back here. It's a really wonderful experiment he did over 2,000 years ago to find out that the Earth is curved. He basically put a stick on the ground during a particular day of the year, measured the shadow that the stick made. Then he paid someone or hired someone to walk, I don't know how far, to another city a long way away on the same day on the next year, put a stick on the ground and measure the shadow. And since the shadow was different, based on that, with the Pythagorean theorem, I think you can figure out that the Earth is round. Maybe that's not the Pythagorean theorem. I'm not great at math, but here's New York City. From high up, you can see how photorealistic this game looks from high up, from a distance. Because then it starts really pulling in the satellite imagery, the textures, and it still has 3D buildings there. But from a distance, it looks like you're there. It looks photorealistic, especially when the sun is further down in the sky, and you start getting shadows, and it looks even more amazing. Chris, our friend Mojo, lives all the way down that direction, I think somewhere towards Trenton. Cool, man. Thanks so much, Vicious. Have a great flight, man. I'll be coming around and lurking in yours as well, right? I'm learning all this stuff. I just learned about lurk of the Nightbot today. It means like if you put this command lurk, it means you're around there, not necessarily you're away from the keyboard, but you have it on, and that's awesome. When people do that, you get more views, and that's really awesome. So I'm gonna let's see. When I get a notification there that you're going on, I'll do the same, all right? Just here, okay. Over New York City, fly away, flying north from it. We're at 1 hour and 20 minutes in this stream. Been very nice so far. I'm probably gonna stop soon, and at least I'm gonna let's fly over to Beacon. Let's go say hi to Bruce. I'm gonna keep going up the Hudson. I'm gonna follow the Hudson and try to see if there's a little airstrip or some place I can land in Beacon here. And because I need a break, I need to go get some water. I'm gonna leave this this plane air flying. Hopefully I can trim it properly. It doesn't have autopilot, I don't think. Well, I have my fictional autopilot here behind me, like a fictional person there. But we're gonna try to just leave it, trim it fairly well, and leave it going, and just fly attitude that will keep us hopefully straight, more or less straight and level. It is a radial propeller engine. Ciao, Paulo. The cat's passing by. Yeah, I'm pretty sweaty. Here, I'm gonna undo my timer because this is gonna go long. But yeah, these propellers that are a single, just one propeller, it gives torque, so the airplane has a tendency to like move the other way. But I don't think this particular one has a roll trim ability, only pitch. But it seems pretty stable right now. So I'm gonna take a little break. I'm going to leave a nice outside view for you of getting away from New York City over Manhattan here in the distance. From far away, you can actually see the whole island. You almost can see the whole island of Manhattan as you keep moving through north of the whole island of Manhattan. And you can see how the earth is curved. I had to zoom out of the lens here, and you can see this sort of curvature. You get really high, you watch to the horizon. Already here you can see it curve a little bit. Let's see what height we're at here. I think the limit of this plane is probably 10,000 feet or something. We're at 8,500 feet, Angel's 8.5, and climbing. And seems pretty stable right now. It does have a tendency to want to turn right, but yeah, enjoy. Say hi to Barbara for me. I never met him in real life either, but maybe we can all meet next year. And by the way, we're about to finish an anti-Stasi campaign on my friend's server. We'll probably start Arma anti-Stasi. It's a really fun guerrilla mission. We might start another one not too long after that. And I'm gonna talk to my friends who I play with that. If they want some more people, maybe you can all join and we could all play that together. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if you like Arma, but that's a lot of fun. Alright, okay, I'm going to take a break here. I'm going to do a lurk as well a little bit. Be right back. I haven't made like something like an overlay yet, but I probably should. Or maybe I'll just like write a little thing here that I just write it. So I'll be right back. Test, I'm back. Plane is still flying, that's good news. Oh, I thought that was a plane, but that's the LaGuardia. I haven't seen any air traffic here. I think I had put AI. Not live traffic, but I had put AI. But I didn't see any planes over New York, which is funny. Maybe there's an issue happening. So I'm gonna try to land in Beacon to end the stream. I'm flying now, and I'm gonna do another flight in the future from a place that's not too far from Beacon over to West Virginia. Not today, because I want to go outside a bit in an hour, 30 minutes. It's a beautiful day here in New York, like you can see. I want to go spend some time outside, but I'm gonna try to reach Beacon and land there or nearby, preferably not on a runway. Thank you, Mazu. Thanks for welcoming me back. Thanks for watching. How's it going in Rome? What's the weather there like over there? Is it hot? Is it humid? Is it cloudy? Is it sunny? That there is what's the name of that town with the big bridge near it? On the way to Beacon, that huge bridge. Tarrytown. I think that's Tarrytown. Thanks, man. I think that, yeah, there's some sort of issue here because look at that, some sort of textures. That bridge is just going into the water there. Maybe they were building it because they just built that bridge not too long ago. So there's some issue going on here up the Hudson in Microcomputer Software Flight Simulator 2020. You have to be very careful getting lower in these airplanes because see if I put my nose down, look how fast the speed goes up. Look at that, look how fast it goes up. If it reaches that red and it stays on it for like a second or two, game over. So you really have to go slow with these airplanes. Quite sunny, had a couple of days of stormy rain, but we're back to warm September. Excellent, Mazu. Fai certo di portare una giacca in primavera, eh? The Italians, they have this saying, especially I think, is it a Roman saying? I'm not sure, like you carry a jacket in spring, you know, because spring can get, all of a sudden it can be hot and then it can get really cold all of a sudden, a cold wind. And if you're Italian and you get a cold wind on your neck or your back, you're gonna get like 42 degree fever the next day. So you have to be careful. So they have a saying that you have to, if you're Italian, you have to, not only Italian, I've become more Italian after living this for many years. Porta una giacca in primavera, carry a jacket in spring, and you put it on your fingers like this, and you put it over your shoulder, so the logo type of your jacket can show, so you can show the people that what kind of jacket you have, and you walk around like Cary Grant in Roman Holiday with Audrey Hepburn, and you just walk around. I don't even know why I'm talking about this, but that's great. It's not a... It's true, it's about giacca in autunno. Look at, I've been flying too long here, Mazu. I'm already talking way too much shit. Yeah, I guess it's an general Italian saying, right? Yeah, here in New York, we don't need to carry a jacket yet, but I can feel the weather changing a bit. I can feel the light changing. That sort of autumn light is starting to become a bit more, the shadows are starting to get a little longer, and it's not going to be too long before, is it appearing more this bridge, before we're going to have to start wearing jackets, unless, I don't know, maybe with the global warming it won't happen, but that's the funny thing about global warming. In some places it makes it cooler, in other places it makes it hotter. It can affect the weather in weird ways, but it is happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real thing, and I think that this whole COVID thing is like a little nothing, a blip in the radar to compare to what we're in for not too long from now. And I hope that the people back at the lab, all the scientists working, they'll come up with fusion reactors or spaceships or something soon, because we need it. We need it. We need to sort out this problem. I would love to go land in Fiumicino. Hey, what's up? G-Man 999-000-9er8. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to land in Fiumicino today because I want to go outside, like in the real world here. But another time for sure. Where are you going to go pick up in Fiumicino, Mazu? What's up? The G-Man. What's up? What's up? Okay, sensitive, no problem. All right, let's not stream that. Yeah, good idea. What's going on with it? What's wrong? What's wrong with your microcomputer software Flight Simulator 2020? I had a crash today. I haven't had many crashes. I had like probably 3 or 4, but today I had a crash. It just like crashed the desktop. No message, nothing. Once. Yeah, that's it is a RAM hungry beast, this thing. I have 32 gigabytes here. And it uses, I think, I haven't looked at my specs, but it does take every bit of it, I think. It's a power hungry piece of software for sure. Especially, I noticed that especially when you load up a new place, it's very slow in the beginning because I think it's pulling in all the information probably from the internet, but it takes a while for the frame rate to stabilize, so you can't really judge the performance based on the first minute even of you playing. Leave it a minute, look in the outside view, look around, do all this sort of stuff, and look around, and then it tends to stabilize after about a minute. Yeah, there's this guy I know, he said he has 16 gigabytes and he said he wants to upgrade to it. And he has a fairly decent computer. I think the more RAM you have, the better for this particular video game. Yeah, pretty much like when you're flying, especially low, I think, all these little buildings and stuff, it's like continuously popping things in, you know? From up high, you're a bit better, but from low, that's where, by cities, that's where the worst performance is for me. Although there's some weird stuff, like sometimes I'm in a wild area, like in Alaska, I've had that happen, and or like in, I don't know, what was it, Taiwan, maybe by a mountain, no cities nearby, and there was clouds, and right when I was gonna crest a hill, and there was a cloud in the background, it slowed down, and then as soon as I crested it, it sped up. I don't know, it's some weird, I have no idea what that is, but there's definitely some weird performance issues that I hope they fix up. Oh man, yeah, that sucks. You know, I love online games. I love offline games. I really wish, I really fought hard and was really annoyed that so many video games had to be played with an online connection. I'm lucky to have a fast connection, but I think I'm going to be really annoyed when I move to a place that is going to go back to a slow one, because so many of these games now, they want you to be online all the time. I'm just going to have to play different games, you know. One of my favorite games to play with no connection is Jagged Alliance 2 from 1999. Great video game, a bit different than this. You control a squad of mercenaries, isometric turn-based view, but that game will take a lot of your time. It's a lot of fun still all these years later. And you do not need an internet connection, which is very nice. Where are you going on a road trip? That sounds fun. I miss going on road trips. I just went to a really quick one recently to camp, but I miss a long road trip right in that direction, heading west. I once did one from New York City, from where we're down there, where we've been flying over and flying away towards Beacon now. And I went west over 2 months to California. That was one of the probably defining trips of my life. See, look at this performance here. See how it froze up all of a sudden? I don't know why. And now it's back to normal, but maybe because I zoomed in and some things were loading. I don't know. This stuff happens. Thanks for dropping in. Here, I'll give you a follow. The G-Man 999, 999er. Whoa, let's see. 11 followers. What kind of games do you play? Here, I'll give you a follow. There you go. Thanks for visiting. It is a wonderful game, though. I've been enjoying it. I haven't played Microsoft Flight Simulator for probably. Well, I probably played it a bit on a friend's computer or something, but I haven't owned a Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't even remember the last time. Probably 20 years ago. See, like the weird performance issue when you move around, switch the views. Not sure what's going on there, but where am I? All right, I think I'm approaching. Let's take a look out of the airplane. I think this is Croton Harmon down here. I'm getting really slow right now. I'm going to put full power. And I'm going to have to go outside, so I am going to... I don't think I'm going to make it to Beacon tonight, because Beacon, I have to go all the way up. I think all the way up there. That's all the... Beacon is all the way up there somewhere. So I have quite a ways to go. So instead, I'm going to land in this green field here by Croton Harmon. Alright, cut power. Let's do a little bit of maneuvering here. See how fast we can get this thing down. See how fast that goes? Look how fast it goes to the red. So I'm just going to do some barrel rows here to wait till the airspeed goes down again. Then another barrel row. Not quite a barrel row, but I can hear the airframe straining. This corkscrewing in like an interstellar. It's definitely not a P-51 that you can dive straight down, get to whatever dive speed is of that crazy warbird and get down there in a hurry. And this one, you have to go gently. Okay, let's see what the stall speed is. I'm not even sure what the stall speed is in this thing. I think it's probably like 30 or between, probably like 60 knots. Is that right? Here, I'm gonna stall. Let's do it from an outside view. Let's do a stall here. About 60 knots. Oh, am I gonna crash? Careful. Alright, let's do this. Let's move the camera around. Move it down. And let's do a stall so you can have a little outside view that you see it going away. I really don't like this drone view. It's really hard to, there's too many buttons that you have to press in order to get a flyby view. And I'm still not used to it. Long time to get down from, well, I think it was like 10,000 feet we were at. Over here, Croton Harmon, and we're just gonna, I always like to end the streams with a landing in a place that's not necessarily an airfield even. So we're gonna try, I'm gonna keep that, I'm keeping my airspeed in view there while I corkscrew in. Oh, press the wrong button, put the flaps down, flaps are down. I think Sleepy Hollow is here. It's that Johnny Depp film, that old story about the Headless Horseman. It's not far from here. I'm not sure where it is though. If I didn't know, I could land. So we land on that building there as a challenge. Or on maybe I'll land on the train station, because I often when I go to Beacon, you have to change. If you don't get the express, you have to switch here at Croton Harmon. I hope this is Croton Harmon, otherwise I'm just telling you wrong information, but I'm pretty sure this is Croton Harmon. Go up the river, you often have to change trains here. Situational awareness. Yeah, let's land at the train station, on this train station roof. It looks like there's enough. The They did a couple of touches and goes in the beginning of the stream in the UN United Nations Secretariat building in the center of New York, and without crashing, which was nice. And now I'm going to try to land on Croton Harmon train station on the roof, trying to crash here as well. Very slow airplane, very slow landing speed this thing has. This Savage Cub. I think they call it Savage because it's a bush plane that you can land in wild places. And here we go. Let's see. Arriving in Croton Harmon in Microsoft Microcomputer Software Flight Simulator 2020. Very slow. Okay, power. Up. Oh, more power, much more power. Yeah, I don't know about this, but oh, got it. All right. I'll get the train and come back home to go outside. Okay. Let's see what's the next train to New York City is. All right. Let's see if this other thing works. Let me out tab here a second. This other thing that I was trying. Give me a second here. Stream credits. Let's roll the credits. Let's see if that works. And it should be rolling now. All right, here you go. A new follower is G-Man, the G-Man the Niner. So this is a thing that I just turned on here. The Streamlabs thing that when you follow me, or if you like cheer, or if you subscribe, you can subscribe when I have 50 followers. Thanks, Mazu. Thank you. Thanks so much, Commander. I'm looking forward to flying with you when you get your computer. So yeah, this little thing I put like so anyone that followed or cheered, or which is a Twitch thing, I guess. During the stream, it appears. It's a little credits like a movie. So I think that's a nice little touch. I'm glad it worked this time. I couldn't get it to work yesterday. Thanks so much for following me, G-Man Niner. And I'll see you all. What's my schedule like? I think I'm gonna play a bit tonight, and then tomorrow night, and then I'm off till next week. So thanks so much for the follows. Have a good trip to Fiumicino, Mazu. Thanks for the follow, G-Man, and thanks for chatting, Vicious. And I'll see you all again soon. All right? Peace out.